to do it that Ukraine is facing a lot of challenges in terms of making reforms, modernizing, Europeanizing, fighting against corruption, and also redefining its concept of nation and finding a unity. Of course, these are challenges that are on the political agenda and are very huge challenges, but I think that Ukraine is ready to face them, and we'll see in the future what comes up, and I hope we'll have the opportunity again to discuss these issues in the future. In terms of hope, of course, I think there's a lot of hope also because you have a strong civil society, you have a lot of young people involved and interested in this issue. Unfortunately, most of the audience has gone, and it's a bit sad that they didn't stay until the end, because they're also the future of your country, and they are the people who are going to face these issues in the future. Nicolas Hayot this morning mentioned or asked why we Swiss people are here in Ukraine, interested in this issue of Ukraine and of the future of your country. And of course, Switzerland has a lot to offer in terms of the model it developed in its history, and these terms were discussed today also: federalism, decentralization. Of course, we can give some models, but we cannot be the model to duplicate, because it's very hard for a country, of course, to come and say how others should do, and this is not what we want to do. Our ambition is much more modest. We as an institute in University of Fribourg, what we want to do is to promote social sciences. We've done this mainly in the Balkan state, but also in the Caucasus. And now the future for us is to see what we can do with Ukraine, of course, with prominent scholars, with younger scholars. And Nicolas Hayot talked about the past, how we arrived here in Ukraine. I want to say just a few words about what lies ahead between possible cooperation between our university and Ukrainian scholars. And just for the future, for the next year, we have 2 events within our academic Swiss Caucasus net. This is it, and I can tell you a few more words afterwards in private if you want. But we organize in September a big conference on protest culture in post-Soviet states. This will be in Tbilisi. It's targeting mainly younger scholars. That's why it's a pity that most students left also, but I can also give information and you can spread this. So it's going to be a big conference gathering, as I said, those working on this issue of culture, modernization and democratization. And this is very topical for Ukraine, of course. And in November, we are going to organize in Fribourg, in our university, a conference also on relation between Russia, Ukraine and Georgia, and also targeting young scholars. And this is the beginning of our cooperation with Ukraine. I think there's a lot of potential for Switzerland also to promote young scholars, because we think that promoting young scholars is a way for us to make our contribution to democratization. And last but not least, I would like to thank a few people and a few institutions who made this conference possible. First is, of course, Taras Shevchenko University, who was kind enough to host us in their beautiful historical building. Second, our big foundation, Gebert Rue Foundation, based in Basel, which is the biggest science promotion foundation in Switzerland, without which organizing this conference, but also publishing this book would not have been possible. And of course, Jaroslav Pilinski, Viktor Stepanenko, Tamara Brunner from University of Fribourg, and Natalia also from Kennan Institute, who helped us organize this event. So thank you very much, and I think now we'll have time for some lunch. So, and I hope to see you again in the near future. Thank you.